Hello, London, Manchester, Leeds, Birmingham, Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, wherever you are in the world. Hello, and welcome to another Dublin, Scotland.
To the United
Wherever.
Kingdom, England, Wales, and fucking Dublin.
Okay.
Do you know who does that?
Who does that?
That's Miss R Fabulous's intro.
Let's go, baby.
That's what she says.
Love
all the
that
time.
woman.
Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to another rendition of the Receipts podcast. Hope you guys are feeling good, feeling funky, and feeling fresh. Before we give you an episode, we want to let you know that we are on tour. Tickets are out and available. We will be in London, we will be in Leeds, we'll be in Birmingham, we'll be in Bristol, and we'll fucking be in Dublin.
Yeah,
so please be sure to grab your tickets, come and see us. A lot of tickets are going, gone, but don't say we didn't tell you.
Exactly.
I'm here live and direct to let you know that this is happening, this is occurring, and we are planning for our showdown. Do you know why it's good to say things on this podcast? Guess who got an email from Kai Collective the other day saying, hey, do you need clothes?
She's going to do our clothes.
Love you.
Gotta love you, Fizz. Thank you so much for sale. Appreciate you.
So yeah, from my mouth to God's ears. So hello. That's that done. How are you doing? Okay, right as she sips her tea.
Sorry, I was just about to sip. I'm really well, actually. Do you know what?
That's good.
I realise this weather really does impact my mood. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel productive. It makes me feel like I can take on the world. So yeah, I feel A-okay.
Sun's out and suddenly life is worth living. Life is worth living. So we are here to live it. Remember, one life society, guys. Right, we're here to do your dilemmas.
Yes.
We're here to help you out, talk you through, and see if we can be the big sisters, the agony aunts, and the besties you need to hold your hand as we do this thing called life together.
Let's go.
Right, first dilemma. Dear Audrey and Tolly, before I get to my dilemma, I want to take a minute to let you know that Talani, your mother's full recovery is consistent in my prayers. Amen. How vulnerable you've become on this podcast this year has been an actual joy to listen to. As a listener, I truly feel so connected to you, and without condensation makes me so proud. Audrey, you've always been the heart of this podcast. I pray over your daughter, husband, and you as a family.
Amen.
Your laugh has truly been a saving grace and comfort hug throughout some dark times. Only second to your foul American accents. My dilemma is one I don't think has been spoken about on the podcast, so apologies if it runs too long, but I truly would appreciate and love the advice.
Okay.
I'm a single African 35-year-old orphan who lives in London with no siblings or even family close. My father passed when I was 1 with prostate cancer, and my mother never remarried. She was my soulmate and passed away during COVID. It was unexpected and very traumatic as it all happened within a space of 3 months. Mother raised me on her own and was truly the embodiment of a hero. She taught me kindness and self-love whilst building me a life of financial security and happiness. At the time of her passing, I was in a relationship with a man. Let's call him Lucius. He was my future and what I thought was the love of my life. At the time of my mother's passing, we've been together 8 years. After her death, he left me after confessing he felt suffocated, and once drunkenly told me COVID made him realise he wanted to see more of the world. He broke up with me 5 months after my mother's death, after promising he'd always look out for me. This breakup hit me so hard I truly felt alone. Fortunately, I started therapy the moment I found out my mother was poorly, as I knew I needed an emotional release as I struggled with leaving friends with the weight of such heavy trauma. I go consistently to this day. Nearly 4 years on, and he's married with 2 kids, got engaged roughly a year to the date my mother passed. Oh God. A pregnant wife, and I am doing okay. I struggled a lot naturally after my mother's death and felt often very alone. I went through all the emotions of anger and despair, especially because I didn't understand how the world kept on spinning when I lost my son. 18 months ago, I met my current partner. It was organic and I honestly felt like I'd met my safe space. There is no however in this case with him. 3 months ago, we went to stay with his mother abroad. She's a divorcee of Caribbean descent, who I met a few times throughout the year when she visited us in London. She was always a little abrasive, but I tried to chalk it up to a mother who loved her eldest son and always remained happy and polite. This all changed once we stayed with her in Jamaica. One night, I had a terrible nightmare and woke up crying, and my boyfriend basically cuddled me and soothed me back to sleep. This is something that happened occasionally when I get overtired, sort of sleep paralysis and a panic attack combined, usually after flying. So the following morning, I woke up to her and him whispering in the kitchen, convinced I was dreaming. I just kind of sat in the dark and closed my eyes to listen harder. I wasn't sleeping. His mother was telling him that I was a problem child and the devil doesn't kill both your parents if you're good. Fuck me. I heard him telling her to relax and to calm down until I finally heard her say, she's not welcome. I never want to see her devil face again. This broke me. The rest of the week, I faked migraines and tummy issues until we left. Once we returned home, I sat my boyfriend down and told him what I'd heard, and he wasn't surprised and he quickly knew something was wrong when I became quiet on our trip. He said he loved me and his mother and was trying to make it work, but I ended up telling him I need space and time to think. I asked him for 30 days to pray, think and truly see if I could forgive his mother for words that felt like belt whips on my heart. But I know deep down, it's the end. I know he's a good man, but I want to be with the person whose family love me and would treat me like their own. We are due to meet on the 30th of the 8th, and he's been patient with me. I do not ever want to become a point of contention between his mother and I, so I respectfully bow out. I know in my heart I can never forgive her words, but I also don't think I could live with myself if he lost his mother due to me, which I really think would be the case if I put my foot down. It's not his fault I have baggage, but I know it's not mine. I understand his mother is his mother. I know I didn't deserve those whispered insults. I love him very much, but I don't see a path back. I don't think I can live with myself causing him such pain with his mum. I don't think he would choose me, but that doesn't settle me. It's so important to me that I marry into a family who can love me. His father is absent in his life, so I feel like his mother is all he has. His older sister cut his mother off about 3 years ago for similar reasons. She married a man from Pakistan. I'm truly at loss and heartbroken. Any advice? Love and blessings.
Oh my God. That was
a trip.
Yeah, that was a trip. Like, you've definitely been through so much, and I absolutely rate your courage and your strength and all of that, given the circumstances. But I think you kind of answered your own dilemmas. Like, you presented the two options that you'd be left with if you forgave him or whether you didn't. And it really is a lose-lose situation. I totally agree with you in the sense that, I personally, for me, it's very much like that saying, it takes a village. I really lean on that. I really believe that it is important to have community within family, and especially in your circumstances. You've lost both your parents. I think it is more imperative than ever that you're in a family that can feel like a second family almost, and people that are going to embrace you and take you on. And I think that you have been through far too much to now subject yourself to more torture and abuse, essentially. For the mum to say that, she's clearly unhinged. She clearly has a very, very warped sense of Christianity and all of that stuff, and that is not your problem. Obviously you already know because you've said it, but I'm here to reinforce you that none of what has happened to you is your fault. Absolutely none of that is true. None of this devil shit is legit. It's all a load of BS. So please, I hope you didn't internalize that in any way. But if it were up to me, the options that are on the table, which is basically for him to cut his mum off, that has to be something that he does. I wouldn't want to feel like I've had any influence in that decision because it is a big thing. But at the same time, I just don't think you should subject yourself to that. I don't think you should be in an environment where someone is going to speak on you like that and call you all sorts of awful things and speak on your life that way. That is absolutely disgusting. And for me, I personally would walk away. I wouldn't put him in that position, and I definitely shouldn't be in that position either.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think she kind of knows that. She's kind of already said that, I know that I cannot stay here because of this. And you can't. I think it's mad for someone to say that because both your parents have died, that's somehow on you, as if to say death is not inevitable for all. Exactly. And that's absolutely nothing with the evil of how bad you are as a person or whatever. You know the answer. You know what you're going to do. You don't want to do it because it's going to hurt, but I think it's the right thing to do. I think I'll bow out as well.
Ma'am, your daughter doesn't talk to you. Is that the devil?
Yeah. I think I'll bow out as well.
You are clearly the issue. It's so mad because I saw a TikTok yesterday of this girl. She was put her finger down if you slapped up your boyfriend's mum. And I was just you're obviously not that way inclined, but basically this girl said that she was at a family barbecue or whatever and the mum was just being disrespectful and the mum pushed her, so she slapped her back. And I'm not advocating for that because obviously you would never do that, but it was just ironic that I saw that yesterday. But I think you need to walk away. Because
if you're the kind of person that was you know what, we don't see her often, whatever, I'll deal with it. But you can't Though I think, and also I think there are some words that penetrate so deep that you can't get over that. Like,
unforgivable,
there's
yeah.
certain things that you're like, cool, whatever, man. But that one, that's mad.
Yeah,
that's a mad thing to say to
She's spoken
someone.
your deceased parents.
Yeah. And somehow blamed it upon you and somehow
Yeah.
comes to the conclusion that you are some version of a devil. Yeah, I think I think that's my advice. It's going to be hard. You love this person, but I think it's okay to chase exactly what it is you want, which is like be with a family who loves you, thinks highly of you, and there is no weird thing of you not being good enough or you being a devil.
Yeah, and if in some world he decides that he wants to cut his mum off because for the same reasons his sister did, or that's a choice that he wants to make, and you're still single and all the rest of it, then you can revisit it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want you to make yourself the reason he does that, because you don't know how, resentment builds up and people turn around and like blame you and all that. And I just don't think you deserve to have any more on your shoulders. Like, I think you've been through enough. So yeah, I think
I'd make it so very clear that I'm leaving this because of your mum. Like, there's no other reason. This is the reason why I'm doing it. But this one I cannot take.
Yeah.
So if he decides to cut off, I'm not asking you to, but I am out because of this reason.
Yeah.
I'd make that very clear.
Needs to be
Yeah. Right, next dilemma.
Next dilemma.
Yeah,
okay.
let's go. Also, thank you for your prayers.
Yes. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
I've been a very big fan since 2020 and have enjoyed seeing how far you've come. 5 years later, you're still one of my favourite podcasts to tune into. Wishing all the best for both of you and can't wait to see how much more you achieve.
Whoop, whoop.
Thank you. I'm going to try and summarise as much as I can to avoid an extra lengthy email, but no promises. I'm the oldest girl, 27, with 3 younger brothers, 22, 24 and 16. Although I live with my husband and they all live with my mum still, there's an ongoing issue lately that has reached breaking point for me with my middle brother, 22, who can be called MK. For the past 3 months, it's like he's turned into a stranger that we barely recognise. Our parents have been separated for a long time now due to my father's addiction issues, but back in March of this year, my brother blames them for the way his life is going right now. He says that no one wants to support him and he feels that my mum did so much more for me and my other older brother when it came to stuff like helping us get cars, which just isn't true. Both of us had to save up our own money from jobs we worked in order to pay for used cars we have. And she didn't contribute anything because she was living paycheck to paycheck. We were expected to help pay rent and bills, understandably, as she was a single parent raising 4 kids without any support from our dad. We have all tried to let him know that no one is working against him and that we as his siblings have gone through the same stuff he has right now. Even extended family members have tried reaching out to him to try to provide the type of help they can during this time for him, but he ignores them as well. But he seems to be entrenched in this victim mentality and nothing we say is right or helpful according to him. I understand not being happy with where your life is currently, but any advice or outside perspective that we try to provide gets shut down because he's just so angry. It's gotten to the point where he called my mum out of her name, called her a dumbass bitch for not giving him some money he wanted. He lashed out and called our 16-year-old brother a fucking idiot to his face. Oh, he has recently told our mother that he will no longer be paying or contributing to any bills because he can't save up his money if he's spending on things like that.
Then he should get the fuck out.
Exactly. What did it for me and became the last straw of all that wasn't enough was earlier this week, my mum said that she would give him 6 months to save up as much as he could before he needs to move out or she will have to start the eviction process due to his actions and lack of contributions, although he's working a regular job that pays him every week. In response, he said that if she did that, then he would call ICE, he would call ICE immigration on her as we live in the US where they are literally snatching up innocent people who are legally here. Whew. My mother is a green card resident and committed no crime, so she ideally would be fine, but to me it still feels like a terrifying possibility. Even the threat of that is mad. It feels awful to say, but I don't want him around my other siblings or my mum. It feels like he wants to do as much damage to the people around him because things are not turning out the way he wants them in life right now. I'm not sure if my mother will stand her ground because she extended what I think is too much grace towards him, as his lack of respect has been increasing over the past year. I get that as a mum, kicking him out to be on his own must be such a difficult thing to think about doing. But on the flip side, I can't stand that he's treating us this way and essentially everything stays the same for him, having a roof over his head, food to eat, rides where he needs, and my mum helping him pay off his credit card bills, all whilst he treats her like dirt. My dilemma is, 1, how do I help my mother stand her ground once that 6 months is up? And 2, is it time for me to do what I can to give him a reality check? He's currently on my phone plan and I've been thinking about suspending ending his line or removing him from it entirely to go pay for his own plan, as he's never paid for it since I got the plan 3 or 4 years ago. I've tried to reach out to him calmly through text in the last month, but I never get any responses, and quite honestly, part of me is about to crash out and go off on him. He seems determined to sit in this woe is me state and be so cruel in the process, and I don't think trying to have another talk with him is going to get through. This ended up being pretty lengthy, so I apologise for that. I'd appreciate hearing your thoughts on my dilemma, what route you might take if this was your sibling. It's even hard to believe I'm writing this about my own sibling. Thank you so much in advance.
Jesus Christ. Ooh. I do think there is something about being incredibly miserable with your life and taking that out on people. Like, you're not happy with how things go in, and then you're convinced that it was somehow someone else's fault.
Yeah.
And I think maybe being the youngest, you don't realise that you actually got spoiled more than anybody else has. You're like, oh, but my siblings had this. They actually didn't. They got that themselves. And because you're young, you don't realise that actually that wasn't mum that helped us out. That was them getting a job. That was them doing this. And I feel like there are certain people, clearly he's not willing to listen to any of that. Now he must feel. Those who don't listen must feel. I'm cutting him off that phone. In fact, I will let you know, but just to let you know, I'm taking you off the phone line. Like, I don't like how you're moving. It is disrespectful, and you can't keep expecting people to do you favours and keep spoiling you when you are so disrespectful. What do you mean? You said you're going to call ice on mum? Like,
yeah, that's insane.
Are you insane? The most I did was say I'll call Childline.
And that was after a whooping.
And that was after she beat my ass. So, fair enough, right? But like, to say you're going to call, and even them, my mom said, take the phone, call them now. And of course I didn't. But to say you are going to call ICE, especially when you know the climate, what's happening in America right now, is so awful. And so like manipulative as a way to get your way and keep like getting away with not doing anything or helping out. You can't be in your 20s working, being in a household that needs your help. Fair enough if you're like, oh, like your parents are wealthy and they don't need your help, and not help out. And then your mum gives you 6 months to save and you're still saying, oh, you're going to do this if you kick me out. Why'd you, like, that's disgusting. He must start feeling that what he's doing is actually not right. Because I don't understand. So I just realised I got my AirPods in the whole episode. I was thinking, why can't I hear shit properly? Anyway, oh my God, that's so much better.
Yeah, no, do you know, I agree. I do feel like people, the level of entitlement that your brother seems to have is wild. And for me, I feel like we need to go backwards and realize and try to understand how we got here. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like in these kind of dynamics, because it's quite not similar, because, well, there's 3 of us and I've got a younger brother. And, you know, sometimes it does get very techie when, you know, young men are of a particular age, especially now. I feel like there's a lot, you know, we talk all the time about being bombarded with images and messaging and all the rest of it. And I think so oftentimes we hyper focus on how that affects young girls, and we don't sometimes think about how that affects young men. And I think for me, I agree that he definitely needs to be cut off. He needs to be told. But I also think that it's a twofold project. I think that there's a reason for this anger. And I think sometimes it takes someone to really sit down with that person and get to the root cause. Like literally, do you remember on Super Nanny? Was it all just, Super Nanny? When she used to say, when you're talking to a child, you need to come down to their level. Yep. That was something that always stuck with me. And I feel like that can be quite figurative for different scenarios. Like, obviously with a child, you'd literally go down to their level. But I feel like in this scenario, you need to go down to his level also, but you need to get to the bottom of what the root cause of this anger is, because there is something that is brewing that is making him angry. Is he consuming red pill content that is making him just angry at the world? Because it does have that sort of effect on people. Is there something deeper that's happened in his life? Because I just think you need someone, and I've had to be that person for my brother, because I realized that so often, like my mum and my brother would bump heads a lot, and they would both like complain about the other person, and he's living at home and blah blah blah, and very, very similar dynamics, not to that extreme, but they would have loads of arguments. And then I had to take it upon myself to be the person that was going to communicate with my brother, because I also didn't want to ostracize him. And there were times where I was like, do you know what, maybe he does just need to be left to his own devices to figure it out. But then I know that I would have guilt if something were to happen to him off the back of that. And I feel like either way it's awful, because you allow the behaviour to continue and it just exacerbates and gets bigger and bigger, or you kick them out and then something could happen to them and then you have to live with yourself. I feel like you have to try and you have to exhaust all measures. When it comes to family, it's kind of like, not limitless, because I'm absolutely down to let family go. I don't really give a heck in that sense. But not a sibling that I've been raised with that, I would want to try. I
Yeah.
would really, really want to try. So what I would do is, and I've done this with my brother, and when I actually sat down and had conversations with him, I was like, oh, like I get it. And then what I would do is I would go back and feed that information to other people. And then I actually became like his defense lawyer at some point. And I'd be like, no, but you guys don't understand. Because when I started speaking to him as a man on a level, do you know what I mean? Like actually getting to know him and understand his world, so many things made so much sense. And I understood where the anger was coming from. So I think that some of this stuff is normal. I think it is growing pains.
Yeah,
it is rite of
angst,
angst. It is rite of passage stuff. Like I said, they're being bombarded with images all the time, especially about what manhood looks like, about what expectations are placed on them. And it's like, again, I don't like excuse that behavior, because you also should know better, especially in your 20s. But I do think it sometimes takes someone to actually talk to that person on a level. If you do that and you don't get any better understanding, there isn't any trauma that's attached to this behavior, or there isn't something more deep rooted and he's just being an asshole, then by all means cut him off and let him learn the hard way. But I definitely think there's something more to it. I just don't think that anger on this level is out of nowhere. And even like things when he's saying things about, oh, you had it easy, exactly like what you were saying, Tolly, I feel like sometimes when the younger sibling is so young, they don't understand the mechanics of what's gone on. They don't because who's going to explain to a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old at the time that you saved? They don't know. They just see the results.
See you have a car, so you're like, how come you had a car and I don't?
They just see the results, but they don't necessarily know what it's taken. So I don't think it's enough. And I feel like sometimes people do need a defense lawyer. Like if it feels like everyone in your family's piling up on you, I feel like sometimes it does encourage the person to be more defensive than ever. So you might have to be that person for your brother for a little bit. I would start by I remember I've been there. Like I literally had the longest conversation with my brother, and I was just like, listen, you're bumping heads with mummy all the time. Like, what is going on? And when I heard his side of the story, I was like, oh. And then please believe I went and checked my mum, because she wasn't always relaying things back exactly how they happened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think it's important to get both sides of the story fully, but also you can call people in instead of calling them out, and you can still be harsh in the way in which you do it, but you can do it from a place of love. And if that doesn't work, then kick that ass out.
Yeah, hard agree.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I was saying to Jola the other day, I was just like, I really wish I had a younger brother. I just feel like it would suit me, and I think we would have really got on. And then she was just like, it's really hard because it takes them so long to get their shit together. She's like, you have a sister, they just get their shit. Like, you don't actually need to, obviously it's not true 100% of the time, but most of the time they will get their shit together naturally. But she was like, with brothers, you're worried about them for so long. Like, because it just takes them a minute just to work it out. And it's just like, are they going to work it out? When are they going to work it out? So like, yeah, everything Audrey said, I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
So
my brother's the youngest, and I remember he was going through like a bit of a quarter life crisis, and my mum wasn't understanding because she was just seeing things like how things panned out for my sister and I. But you've got to remember, that was a very different time, like trying to get a job and trying to be financially stable in the early noughties, like, was different to what it is now. My mum didn't understand, so she's just like, they did it, and I was like, but that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when I'm having these conversations with my mum, I'm like, oh, this is why you guys are bumping heads, but this is the reason why this is what it is, and blah, blah, blah. So, and again, the advice works both ways. Like, I'm not just saying that just back him 100% and not, do you know what I mean? I just think you should find a middle ground.
Yeah, and I think the youngest always has that time, especially when most people have left, one of the youngest, when most people have left the house, I used to bump heads with my mum like a mad person. Like, your siblings will tell you that you probably have the most relaxed mum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like the version of mum you have is so relaxed compared to what you got. Like, it's just different.
It's very different.
But yeah, I think we tweet what Audrey said, do that for sure. Right, next dilemma. Hello, girls. Although it's a dilemma, I'm quite excited. Secretly been wanting to do one of these for ages, but haven't got enough drama going on. Ha, 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 ha. Firstly, thank you for everything you do. I've been a regular listener since 2021 when I was going through some difficult times and you never failed to put a smile on my face. I've listened to you all over the world and you've cheered me up in some literal war zones where my stress levels have been pushed to the limits. So my dilemma. I've been married 2 years, together for 6. We've not had it easy as we are from different countries and cultures, and we've done a lot of long distance. He's a lovely man and loves me a lot, kind, caring, and I think would do pretty much anything for us to be together. However, he hates my job.
Oh.
I'm a humanitarian aid worker and I travel for work. It's basically how we met, but he's since focused on working in his own country while I've carried on working in other countries. The places I go are dangerous and we can't travel together. I often have to go for 3 months at a time with a month off in between. This has made things difficult and yes, we feel unsettled. I love my job. It's what motivates me and drives me and I'm really passionate about what I do. Recently, I decided not to renew my 2-year contracts for a job I was working on in a very challenging context with the promise that would look for something in my home country or his, but realised it was impossible for me to find work in his and it'd have to be mine. The plan was to try and find a job and settle down here, but I'm really struggling. I miss the work and although I've done a lot of applications, I'm struggling to feel motivated. As you can imagine, this would be very difficult to what I've been doing in aid work and would require me having a career change and settling down. My husband is really excited and can't wait to move. And I feel very guilty that I'm having doubt about all of this. I love my husband and want us to be married, but I don't want to resent him down the line of giving up what I love. I'm 31 now, would like to settle down and have kids at some point, but I think I've still got a good couple of years in me working in aid jobs before settling. What would you do? Risk losing your man to have a career you want or accept that it's time to compromise for the marriage and settle down? Thank you for your advice you offer. I know it will be words of wisdom. Oh, I hope so.
Oh, no, because I'm like, eek, this is tough.
I don't know. Do you know what, right? Do you know when people always like women can have it all, whatever. Not only to say women, I guess more so women actually. Women can have it all, blah, 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 blah. I've said I don't think you can at the same time. And also I think having it all is a bit at what cost? It's never going to be all. I think there's always something that's got to give. You want this like career, like you are aid worker, you're traveling the world. Your work is important and feels important to you, right? It is, and I think when you have that kind of job, it's a lot of what your identity is because of how important the work you're doing is, and you see in every day of your work that you're saving lives. You are literally in war. I thought you were joking at first, but you are literally in war-torn places. So I can understand how that feels so fulfilling for you. But also you love your husband, you want to get married, you're married, sorry, you want to have children. It is literally at what cost something has got to give. And unfortunately, you just have to decide what it is that's got to give. You can't have it both. Like it is, I think it's just one of those hard in a rock place. Rock and a hard place, that's it. Hard and a rock place. Rock and a hard place. Like you're going to be, unfortunately, you're going to be unhappy somewhere in this situation you're in, right? But it could be like you have your children and they make you feel a fulfillment again and blah, 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 blah. So you don't require that job to do that for you. But the likelihood is you're going to feel like you're missing something, whatever you choose.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was going to say, essentially, excuse me, and I don't know how helpful this is, but it just boils down to you have to make the choice. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to decide whether, this career is like more important currently, or kind of trumps your relationship. Because again, you do travel so much. You probably, I assume you get called at all sorts of times and deployed to all sorts of places. And so, you don't necessarily have like a structured everyday 9 to 5, and that requires you to be present and that requires you to be available. Yeah. So it really does. But I feel like if I don't know, you said that you want to get it out of your system before you settle down and have children. Yeah. And so for me, I don't think that this is the kind of job you'll be able to be so hands-on with when you have a family. There'll be a whole different level of like, safety and like, extra care that you have to take when you have children, because of course, like you don't want to, God forbid, something fatal were to happen. So if it were me, I don't know what I would do.
I would pick having my kids. Let me tell you this, the truth. I've done the job. Yeah, it's an experience that I've had already. It's not like it's like I'm at a place where it's what I want to do and I don't know either way yet. Like for me, I'm not saying this is what you should do. For me, I'm like, I've done it. I'm able to tick that off. Like, and I know that like I'm going to miss it. I love it or whatever. But I feel like because I haven't done this thing yet, I haven't tried what it looks like to be married in the same country, settled together, having kids and planning our future. I haven't done that option yet. So for me, I would do that option. I'll be very honest. And if it means having a career change, I'm having that career change.
And I think what you need to do, because you guys haven't been necessarily settled and married in the traditional sense, I actually think you need to go and see if that's something you can do. Because I feel like being in a sort of long distance relationship where, you know, you're very committed to your job, you guys are moving all the time, all the rest of it. That's very different to sitting and being still. So I think there'd be a bit of a middle ground. I think what I would do is maybe take a year off, go and try and do that and see if you like it. Because if you park the career completely, give up everything, and then actually find that I can't live with this man every day. I don't even know if this is I don't even know if this is for me. Maybe I do like my lifestyle the way it was. Maybe I do operate better in a long distance relationship where we're not together every day, because there's plenty of marriages that operate like that. Then go back to your job. But the thing is, you're going to have time to do that, because even if you choose your husband, I assume you're not going to have children straight away. So that's what I would do. I would try that, see how I feel, do I have the exact same feelings for my husband? Am I super happy? Could this life be for me? And then if you feel like you can do, then yeah, like Tolly said, you've tried it, you've done that. It's not as if you haven't. I feel like that's different. If you had hopes and aspirations, and we get dilemmas like that all the time, being like, I want to do this thing, but I've met this amazing guy, then cool. Then I probably would say, no, go and do the job. You owe that to yourself. But like Tolly said, you have actually already done it. So that's what I would do. Settle for a little bit, chill, take some time off, explore this marriage thing where you're, in close proximity, see how you, and then take your decision from there.
Yeah, but I would definitely be like, okay, cool. And I think it's okay to accept that this is the next chapter in my life. I've done that chapter, this is the next chapter. And also things can change in 5 years' time, and your partner can decide that you don't want to be in this place anymore, you want to move. I think sometimes we have to realise when we make a decision, it doesn't mean you're stagnant and stuck there forever. It can still be it's still liquid, it can still move, it can still be something else. But if you ask what I would do in this moment in my life, I'd be like, okay, cool, Tolly, it's time for this. And I see my life as chapters, right? Okay, cool, that's that thing. And it doesn't mean the chapter closes, end, but let's move on to the next one and then see what our life is saying, especially if it's something you desire. You didn't come here to be like, my husband wants kids and I absolutely don't. You're just like, actually, I do want it as well. But I do think we have to be very truthful with ourselves that you get to a certain age and things become, but at what cost? Okay, I want this version of my life. What else going to miss is that this is going to go away.
Yeah.
And you just have to be okay with that.
Yeah, I totally agree. Next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Okay, it reads, have I just ruined the best thing I've had in years?
Let's hope not.
First of all, I need to say how much I absolutely love the podcast. You've honestly been the only constant in my life for the past 7 years, and I couldn't be more grateful for you. I never miss an episode, and I genuinely ask myself at least once a week, what would Tolly and Audrey do? But this time, I really do need your help.
Okay, we're here, baby.
So I'm 28, and last year I got out of a long-term relationship that was honestly just awful. I've spent the past year healing, growing, and fully thriving in my single era, like truly living my best life.
Okay.
A few months ago, in the prime of my singledom, I went on a work trip and met a guy. Let's call him Archie.
Hi, Archie.
I caught him staring at me across the room and we just clicked. The vibe was instant, like something out of a movie. We got talking, and long story short, we ended up spending almost every night together for the entire month we were away.
Nice.
Archie is everything I look for. He's kind, funny, sexy, emotionally intelligent, and has this golden retriever energy that is just chef's kiss.
Okay.
But he's 23 and just gotten out of a long-term relationship literally the week before we met. Naturally, I was curious. I know how much I needed time to rediscover myself after my breakup, and I didn't want to take that away from him. I was also wary of his age and had that things feel too good to be true feeling. He agreed the timing was all wrong, but kept telling me he didn't want to let me go and that what we had was special. I was still guarded though, and told him we should probably leave things as a fling and not see each other when we got back home. We're from the same city. Of course, that didn't stick. Archie kept showing up and broke down my ice queen walls. He met my friends, stays at mine before work, and because of the work trip, he's already in with my colleagues. He's basically my boyfriend, but without the label. Here's the thing. We recently had a serious conversation where I told him why I was so wary, stating that I think he needs to enjoy being single, do some solo travel, just generally live his 20s. He agreed, and we decided to spend some time apart, which lined up nicely with me going on another long work trip and him planning a bit of traveling. And now I regret everything. I meant what I said. I do believe that he should have some time and space, but I'm also now low-key spiraling. I think I'm falling for him, and I'm terrified that I've pushed him away and he's going to go off, live his best life and not come back. I would never ask him not to go. That's just not who I am. But I already feel the anxiety creeping in, knowing he's off doing his thing and I'm here wondering if I just blew the best thing I've had in years. So girls, do I trust that if it's meant to be, it will be? Or do I tell him how I really feel before he goes and risk messing up his experience? Help, I'm a confused girly on the verge of a breakdown.
Go and get him.
Go get your man, girl.
I don't understand this thing. I feel this way about someone. I have access to them, but I'm not going to tell them because I'm going to let destiny play. You better play with destiny. Like I said, I'd be very honest. The whole, if it's meant to be, it'll be. I understand that. I get it. I believe in it. But I also think you have to be practical in the what's meant to be. I'm not of the belief that like, look, God himself is not going to come down. You have to do the work. Faith without work is what? Nothing. And so says the Bible. Faith without works is nothing. You can't you can believe that what is meant to be will be, but also I'm going to make steps to make sure what is meant to be will surely be. Like I just don't believe in faith without works. I have access to you. You like me. I can talk to you. It's not like we had this big argument where I can never talk to you again. I'm not telling you, hey baby, don't go. Before you go, I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
I needed to make it very LOVE. Was what you mean to me. I love you. Like, I feel this way about you. Here's how I feel. And then I know that, hey, if it's not, I've done my bit. I've said the truth. And I think a little part of you, when you were telling him that, like, go travel, you thought he would say no.
Yeah.
Never. I love you. Let's make this work. You kind of wanted that. And I understand that yearning for someone to want to stay for you. But I actually think it's actually quite immature to feel something for someone and not say anything. But one life we have. Why would I not just say how I feel?
Exactly. Especially with, this is easy because sometimes we get these dilemmas and people want to tell their friends, they want to tell strangers, they want to tell colleagues, and the person is none the wiser that they're feeling this way. Whereas like you've already had an interaction that he clearly feels strongly about you as well. I think that, you know, I get why you're apprehensive about doing it before he goes, because it's like, you know, it feels like you're, I don't know, raining on his parade or whatever. But again, I don't think it needs to be a thing of like you're saying you're telling him not to go. I definitely think he needs to know that the option to pick up where you left off is there when he gets back, and, you know, send him off with something nice. Like, I think that, you know, you've had such a good relationship up until this point. Yeah, you've got a few concerns or whatever, but clearly you like this guy. I think I would tell him as well. But again, I would just emphasize in the fact that, like, I don't not want you to go. I still, because the ticket's booked now, so he's got to go regardless.
Yeah, go.
Do you know what I mean? So he should definitely go. But can we pick up where we left off when you return? But like, yeah, definitely say something.
I don't believe in all of that.
I think that all the other concerns, I get it, but that's not for you to decide about how he heals and moves on and stuff like that. Like, sometimes in life, you just meet other people. Like, and if the feelings are genuine, then that's different. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's a, what do you call it? Like it's not like it's a rebound. I think that you guys genuinely connected. I think whether you had both had long-term breakups or not, you would have connected on this trip because you just like each other. So yeah, I think that you should shoot your shot. I think you should let him know. And I just don't think you should take it into your hands about how he heals. Let him figure that out. If you want to be a little bit weary and have your guard up about it, then but don't stand in the way of something good because you're projecting your standards onto him. Not everyone's standards are these things of like, oh, we need to go heal for a year and do this and go on retreats. Some people just on to the next one.
And they're fine.
Let's just move on, and people function and they're fine. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about that, but definitely say something to him. You've got nothing to lose because he's going to go anyway. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like not saying anything, you've got more to lose because he doesn't know how you feel. And he might go approach that trip with a different mindset to what he would if you had told him.
And also, because you're older than him, I think you're trying to play it. I think you're trying to like write the narrative. You're trying to be like, okay, cool, and here's what's going to happen next. And, you know, go enjoy your 20s. That's not up to you to tell him what he needs to do. Like, people are allowed to make their own decisions and be like, no, I like you too. I want to do this thing. And just let it play out. Stop trying to like maneuver your life and play chess with it as well. Like, sometimes just let things play out, but let people know how you feel. Like, I think that's always going to be the thing people regret the most, not letting people know how they feel. Yeah. So call him and declare your love is what I'll do anyway. But that's me. Next dilemma?
Next dilemma.
Is it me?
Yes, sir.
Hey girlies, I love the podcast so much and love seeing you go from strength to strength. I hope you keep continuing to thrive and elevate. Can't wait to see you on tour. Yay! I'll try and keep this to the point. My mum will not stop commenting on my weight, and it's making me not want to visit her anymore. For context, I'm in my mid-30s, and over the last 2 years, I have gained weight. I'm carrying a lot of weight in my face and stomach area. I eat well and exercise frequently, but the weight isn't shifting, to the point that the doctor is now testing for various health conditions such as thyroid function and PCOS, because I spoke to my mum about this, as I'd like to think we're quite close, and ever since I mentioned it, it's almost like she thinks she has a free pass to comment on my weight and tell me I'm big. I'm not actually that big. I've gone from a size 10 to a size 14, so it's a jump, but I don't look like I need to be surgically removed from my house like you see in those TV shows. Over the space of the last 2 weeks, my mum has mentioned that she's been afraid to say that I have gained weight at least 5 times. Clearly, you're not that afraid.
Yeah, exactly. Because you keep on saying it.
Or she says, I know you don't like to hear it, but you're so much bigger now. In our last conversation about it, I snapped at her and said, you'll thrive on saying this. You keep going on and on. Do you think I'm unaware? Why do you think I've called the GP? And she responded by telling me I'm sensitive and this is why she feels she can't say anything to me. Now it's to the point that I feel self-conscious visiting her. I'm worried about what I'm going to wear and even eating at her house because it makes me feel uncomfortable. How can I get to her to stop saying this? Am I being too sensitive? Should I stop visiting her altogether? I usually visit her once a week so she can spend time with my son. So I feel really awful stopping seeing her. So I feel really awful stopping her seeing him, but my mental health is in the bin. Partly because I'm always stressed with struggling to lose weight, and then because my mum feels no way about bringing it up. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Love you both. Down. I would say exactly that to her mum. If you keep saying this, I'm not coming around anymore.
Yeah.
It's not even a threat. Like, you're making me feel such a way that, like, I don't want to be around you because you make me feel like shit. If you keep saying it, I'm not coming around anymore. Because what do you mean you're afraid to say it, but yet you're saying it?
Constantly.
Yeah, like, as in, you've said it the first time, said it the second time. I've told you that I'm aware. And there are some mums that are just obsessed with skinniness. Like, obsessed with it. And they will just make you feel like shit continuously about it. Like, it's okay, I've heard.
Yeah.
And initially, even if the first time someone says it is not malicious, quote unquote, right? Once you said it, you know that it upsets me. To keep saying it is now malicious.
Yeah.
Because you actually know what you're saying upsets me. And I've told you many times that what you're saying upsets me. And I think it's time to be like, Mum, if you keep saying this, I'm not going to come round.
Yep.
And then if she keeps saying it, don't go round.
Yeah.
Until she calls to apologise.
I totally agree. You need to put your mental health first at the end of the day. And it's so mad to me that how people will press on an issue like this when it's such a sensitive topic and you've already made it clear that you feel a way about it. But also, can you give me time? Like, you just said it to me last week. I'm not going to have lost and shifted all the weight in a week. Like, it's a process. And like, she's not even if you, whether you wanted to do something about it or not, that's completely your prerogative. It's your body at the end of the day. But clearly you're very aware of this and you're even looking into it medically. Can I have some time? So I feel like that I would add that in the conversation with, alongside the whole thing of like, I'm not coming to see you anymore if this continues.
Yeah.
Like, I just am not. And I think you need to ask yourself, because I know you were saying that you feel guilty about depriving her of seeing your son. Is the feeling of guilt worse than the feeling that you leave with every time she talks about your body? I guess it probably isn't. Do you know what I mean? I guess you probably feel so much worse every time she comments on your body than the guilt that you would feel for not seeing her. Because at the end of the day, that's you just putting yourself first and putting your mental health first. Like, nobody should be put in that position, especially from your mum. And it's tricky because our mums can be our biggest critiques. And I feel like there's this thing with mums where they feel like we're the only people that can be honest with you. So they feel like because they're being honest with you, somehow...
I'm just telling you the truth.
Do you know what I mean? I'm just telling you the truth. And like, I get that it can come from a place of love, but oftentimes the delivery's off, the persistence is just like so jarring. And it's like, my mum can be the same, not necessarily about weight, about lamenting on a point. God, I feel like all mums do that. It's so annoying. It's like, especially when you're grown up, it's like, you've said it, I've heard, I've received this information. Give me some time to work on it. You don't need to say it every time we get off the phone. You don't need to say it every time we speak. And I think it's just a mum thing. I just think it's something that they cannot help. But that doesn't make it okay. That doesn't justify it. Because at the end of the day, it's having an impact on how you feel about yourself and your mental health. And at the end of the day, especially because you're a mum, even if you weren't, it doesn't matter. But because you've got another person to look after, you cannot afford to have poor mental health. You just cannot. And if you know what the root cause of your of it is, then you need to cut it out, whether it's your mum or not. Like, she's got to go.
And also, you're seeing her weekly. By the time she said it on Sunday, you've got worked yourself up to be okay again, and then another Sunday it hits you again,
Exactly.
and you keep like repeating the pattern of being upset over and over again. Mum, if you carry on doing this thing, I am not going to. And you have to show them. And as she did to my mum as well, like she kept going about the marriage. I said, Mum, if you bring this thing up to me one more time, I will not talk to you. For about 2 weeks, she kept calling me. I didn't answer that. Like, as in, I was like, yep, you are going to, because you don't listen.
And you're gonna feel guilty.
Yeah. Like you're gonna realize how much this is doing. And she had to be like, cool, sorry. Because I think sometimes they think you're joking.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Or again, like you said, they think you're being too sensitive. Like, it's not that deep, she's not that bothered. But if it's actually bothering you, have every right to be like, stop doing that to me. I don't like it.
Yep. This is your whole body.
Like
come
what do you want me to do?
The body that
I've
you have to
heard.
live in all the time. And it's like,
I hope you state the obvious to me. Do you think I'm blind?
It's so annoying. Oh my God. Like, and I feel like sometimes when my mum does stuff like that, she thinks she's just like a reminder, like my calendar reminder or something. It's just like, ma'am.
I think they're convinced that it hurts them more than you. It cannot actually bother you more than it. I promised you, it cannot bother you more than it bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I'm living with it. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, do that for sure. Next dilemma. It says, hey ladies, I'm back again with another dilemma and I need your help. So I live with a close friend. We've only been living together for a number of months now. The whole process has been smooth. We are both very chilled out people, so it has honestly been such a smooth process. However, she has a boyfriend who stays at our flat every single day.
God.
As in weekday, weekend, he is there. I come back from work after a long ass day, he is there. His name may as well have been signed on the tenancy agreement. It's starting to really get frustrating because he does not contribute nothing to the house, uses the water, Wi-Fi, electricity, and has even started doing his laundry. Basically, he has become a third roommate I did not ask for. I really feel like I can't be at home in my own home, and that's what's annoying me the most. I can't be free. I constantly have to be conscious of what I wear around the flat to be respectful. Even coming out of the shower, I have to take a change of clothes with me as I'm conscious about walking out in my towel because it's just too flipping
in my
orcs.
own house.
Do you know what I mean? This is just not what I signed up to. I have just come out from a similar living situation, so I was hoping I could catch a break, but sadly not. Guys, please, I need your help. How do I address this situation? Am I being unreasonable? Do I just firm the situation and get over myself? Or do I say something in fear that it may be very awkward? If you guys were in my situation, what would you do? Like, fully understanding him staying over the odd weekend or so, but every day.
Like, are you homeless?
Bro.
Right, Audrey, you are the girl with the girlfriend, and I'm the one who's having to change my bathroom in my own home. Okay. Babe, do you mind if we have a chat?
Yeah, babe, what's up?
Get that man out of this fucking house. Okay, seriously. Like, actually, how do you...
It's a very techie situation.
Yeah, babe, I know this is a bit awkward and everything, but I was just wondering maybe you can spend some nights at Luke's and not him always being here. It's just because I'm finding myself feeling like I'm the extra housemate. I have to change in the bathroom. I can't be free. I have to wear a bra every day. You know how I feel about bras. And I was just wondering maybe you could do alternate weekends or maybe you go to his and he's just not here all the time just so I can feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I think that you need to have a conversation. There's nothing
else to do it, yeah.
Really do. But I am always curious about these situations. I want to know if I assume there's like a living room situation, there's communal areas. Obviously, they're going to share the kitchen, bathroom and front room if there is one. You come home and they're chilling and they've completely
that would piss me off,
taken over every aspect of the house. Feeling like you are a housemate in somewhere that you are paying the same amount of rent as your what do you call them? Housemate, not house partner. As your housemate would fucking piss me off. But you know what I realized though? I feel like in life, right, sometimes there are things that are very annoying that you can't really do anything about.
You can do that one though.
Because
No. That one's none of it.
I think that she should definitely say something, but
because I'm not saying it shouldn't be. He shouldn't never come round.
But then, what number do we say that isn't
on the weekends? At least give me. No, do you know how mad it is that in my own house I have to take my cream and my change of clothes into the bathroom? I get that if I'm staying with my friend and her partner.
Yeah,
those are the things that you this is annoying. But it's me that's in their space.
No, that's very
You're
true.
In my space. If you are going to be in my space, you stay in that room.
Yeah,
you stay in the room 24/7 and you feel uncomfortable. You're not the one that gets to be comfortable while I'm walking around thingy. You stay. If it was like, he comes down all the time, but he's always just in her room, that wouldn't bother me. I don't give a heck.
But he's proper
But he's doing his laundry. Are you all right?
Yeah.
You're washing clothes in this economy.
Yeah.
I'm barely washing clothes.
Because because obviously they're going to be splitting the rent, right?
Exactly.
So we don't know that he's not paying half of her rent.
Then let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Because that means that if he's paying half your rent, that means he's a third of your housemate then. That means you've told him you can live here. Yeah. So, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me know that. Then they can, because that's not what I signed up for. And like you said, when you first got there, it was easy. So I think you should be easy enough to have that conversation to be like, oh, babe, it's just a bit awkward. Like, I'm always like cautious. Like, if he's round, can he either just stay in the room or can he come round less? Because I'm also, why is the girlfriend not understanding? This is not fair.
She should understand. She should apply fucking common sense. I hate when like something should just be so simple and easy and a man comes and fucking ruins it.
Like, go on, why is the man here?
But if I were the friend, I would be so conscious. Like, I would just be like, nah, like, Luke, you can't be here every day. Like, or,
babe, I'm going to come round to yours.
Or go to his sometimes. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I think that lack of self-awareness is very mad. But it's mad enough for you to definitely put her up on it and just be like, sis, like I'm starting to feel like a prisoner in my own home. Like, what are we going to do about the situation? Because this ain't it, kind of thing. Imagine you come home from a long day at work, you just want to put your feet up and watch Love is Blind. Even
if I'm just in the living room chilling and I hear him doing the laundry in the kitchen, I actually would want to take those clothes out of the washing machine because what's happening here?
And if they want to live together so bad, she should move in with him. And then tell me and then let me do my own thing. But this is not working. Yeah, have the chat. Definitely have the chat because it's actually not fair. Yeah, it's not fair. It's just not fair.
All right, next and last. Okay, hi, Tolly and Audrey. Oh my God, I am so happy I'm writing in my first dilemma. I'm doing this with the biggest smile on my face. Well, for now. I'll get to my dilemma soon. But guys, I am literally your biggest fan. I've been listening to the podcast since I was 15 and I'm now 20, turning 21 this year. You honestly guide me so much of the choices I make and the situations I've encountered. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you both so much and I hope you continue to grow and blossom. The advice you give on your platform really helps we, the audience, become the best versions of ourselves. You lot have helped me through a lot. You don't understand, man. Friends, just life in general. Audrey, all I can say is please don't stop the jokes. You have me cackling and I love how when you're about to tell a joke, you laugh first. It's so funny. Oh my God, your laugh makes it 10 times funnier. And Tolly, you are just so amazing. I admire you and I see you as the woman of wise words and you are just a beautiful woman. I love your dress sense too. Oh my God. Both of you are so... This is making me so happy. Both of you are genuinely my role models. You lot literally have me cackling in public. I've put so many of my friends onto the podcast and we literally love you guys. I still haven't been to any of the shows yet, but I will be there.
Yes.
But thank you so much for keep doing what you're doing now. Onto my dilemma. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, babe. That was so cute.
I've been struggling at work. I just finished my second year at university studying law. I'm aspiring to become a solicitor. And this summer, I decided I needed to lock in and find work experience. People really don't understand how competitive it is. But by the grace of God, I got one.
Yes.
It's a small firm, but I'm gaining so much knowledge. This experience I'm getting is amazing. However, there's just one thing I'm struggling with, the other employees.
Oh, God.
I have a great relationship with my boss, but the others literally hate me. Well, that's the vibe I'm getting. It's a one-floor office space and we can all pretty much see each other. I'm just trying to explain the layout so you guys get the gist. It's mainly women in the office, but they're so mean. Oh my God. Like they all stay on the opposite side of the room from where I'm sitting and gossip, but look at me occasionally like, but are we actually in high school? These are grown women, by the way, age ranging from 25 to 50 years old. It's so irritating. For the first couple of days, they kept getting my name wrong. Then one of them said that they are going to be a lot of interns joining and that they can't keep bringing people in. She said this to another employee at another desk, but she literally said it loud enough so she knew I heard her. The fuck? I didn't want to say anything though, but I was trying to make a good impression, but I just feel so uncomfortable and unhappy. I feel like I've never been in a job where I get along with my colleagues like I couldn't care less if we were friends per se, but at least be nice to me because I'm a fun person to be around. Ask my friends. But yeah, I just want to have to battle in the workplace where I feel so uncomfortable. I would love to be social with them, but they just make it so hard. I low-key feel like I should tell my boss, but I really don't want to turn it into a big deal. It's such a shame because I'm literally living my dream, doing work experience at a law firm in London, a city I'd never really experienced. I'm independent from my parents, a long story. I'm living life and pursuing my love interest. My dating life is okay. I have friends down here too, but it's just work. So here's my dilemma. Do I stay at this firm even though it's so painful going in, or do I leave and face the job market again? Whatever you advise, I will appreciate it. Oh my God, hashtag first dilemma. I'm actually crying. I actually cried writing this, by the way. So this is so long, but even just writing it made me feel so connected so deeply with my emotions. So they're just bearing them away. Thank you so much. You are amazing. And thank you for writing that.
So sweet.
I would stay whilst looking for a new
internship. Bro, it's an internship.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right,
I would stay there whilst I was looking for something else. And when I got something else, I'd go to this, which is, look, I'll be very honest, right? And many people don't want to say this because you sound anti-women. Some of your first bullies in the workplace will be women. And worse, sometimes when you're black women. And that one hurts even more because you're thinking, oh, I found, like, you get there thinking, oh yeah, she's going to be nice to me.
Yeah.
And she's just not, like, she is just not nice to you. It's almost like they see you as this little thing that's like, oh, she'll go away soon.
Or a threat.
Oh, a little threat. And also, remember, some of these people are just really miserable in their lives, and there's nobody else that get to boss around in their actual lives but this new intern. So it makes them feel some version of powerful. And sometimes workspaces can be quite cliquey, so they get into the little cliques of, we've been here for ages, this one will be here a couple of months and move on. Know what your agenda is. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the job. Like, I'm not here to be keen with you. I'm here for my experience. I'm here to pad out my CV. I'm here for my life. And remember, your work is not all aspects of your life. You've got great dating life. You've got friends. You're having fun in the new city that you've just been into. You've got us. Like I said, go there, do your job and go home. And I know it's not like, of course the dream is to also be in the workplace that you love or whatever. But I'll tell you this, as a friend, a big sister that you look forward to, there are many of jobs that I've done that I did not enjoy it, but I'm there for what I'm there for. And for what you're there for at the moment is the experience and whatever extra change it gives you and a version of your life that you've always imagined. You work in a big city, working in the law firm. I get it. Legally blonde all the way, baby. Like, do what you need to do. Start looking elsewhere. When you get there, tell them thank you very much for the experience, give them a card and keep it moving.
Exactly, no notes. And when you do your exit interview, then you give the feedback. So I used to love an exit interview.
I love it.
Oh my God, I couldn't wait. That was the one meeting I was ready for.
Like, yes, I'm ready.
I'm ready. And if they rescheduled it, I'll be like, don't reschedule my exit interview. I'm definitely having my say before I get out of here. But honestly, I've got nothing to add to that. Is perfect advice. Like, literally, I think that sometimes, I get it. Like, you want to have that camaraderie, or what's the word? Camaraderie in the workplace. It would be nice to go for drinks after and all of that, but that's not everybody's lived experience. And because you were there for work experience, it's even less reason why you should care about these bitches, quite frankly, because it's not even going to necessarily be a long-term place of employment. I think that what you need to do is channel that negative energy that they're giving you into just keeping your head down. Like, you're there for a few hours a day. And if it was a thing whereby, like, your life was miserable, then I would get it. You don't need another thing bringing you down. But everything else is thriving, and it's very much a them problem. Like, clearly from the tone of your email, you're a happy-go-lucky, grateful, excitable person. And if they don't want to be around you, that's projection of their misery, like Tolly said. So I just wouldn't think about it too much. But at the same time, I get it, because you have got to be there for 8 hours a day. But look for something else. But do not quit, because you're letting them win. And this is probably why they have that mentality, because they bully people out of there. And then they just do it to the next person and they think they ate. Like, they did not eat. They're not going to take away your experience. You worked bloody hard to get that, and you're not going to let other people take that away from you. So definitely keep your head down, look for something new. But whilst you're there, bang it out. Absorb all the information you need to absorb. Take everything out of this internship that you can and move on. That's all.
And look, it might be the millennial in us, but I believe in doing hard things. I don't think everything in my life is going to be that enjoyable. I think there are some things that I'm going to have to do because I have to do it. It's not because I love it here. But again, I know what my agenda is. I know what my aim is. And I do that. And I know the rhetoric now is that, like, as soon as it makes you unhappy, go. I don't live by that, especially when it comes to work. Like, I do what, like, I've been in many places that, like, you know what you're here for. You know what you're here for the next thing. And all of those experiences have made you better for the next thing.
100%.
Because I think sometimes, I remember when I worked at BuzzFeed and other staff colleagues would be complaining. I'd be like, this is the best job I've ever had. I was like, you lot don't know, because this is your first job. You think this is difficult. When you've gone through bullshit, you realise that, like, this is a lit. What? You mean free lunches, good pay,
perks,
and bagels on a Friday? Let's fucking go. And people are complaining that, this, that. I was like, I can't complain, because I've been through the ringer when it comes to work. And again, I'm not saying that, like, let's, like, glamorize suffering and things like that. But I do think, like, and also, work doesn't have to be your sole provider of happiness. You've got other things
It's there to
going
get
on.
your money or your experience.
Exactly. And I just think, I've never been a lawyer. Don't know anything about it. But I think it might be relative to how the works. I don't imagine a work firm being like, hi, everyone's so, like, I can't imagine it being cheery.
Yeah.
I assume lawyers don't get summer Fridays.
Yeah.
Where they come round with a cart with alcohol and
that's
Prosecco
not billable
at 2
hours.
p.m.
That's billable hours, honey.
I assume that, like, that kind of serious thing. I've had very unserious jobs where, honestly, from the start of June,
no one's working.
1 p.m. summer, there's a cart coming around with Prosecco.
Yeah.
You drink your Prosecco and you go home,
mate,
and you have your summer Fridays. I assume that's not what law firms are like.
I don't think they've got time for that.
I think it's a very serious
they've
job.
got serious
So maybe
cases.
it's good that you get used to being like, okay, some things are going to be tensiony. And again, I know people are going to be like, oh, but you should go. I'm not of that belief that everything's going to be easy and everything should be enjoyable. I don't think that's realistic for what life has got to build up for you. Like I always say, by the grace of God, when I have children, I'm very big on, like, if you tell me, Mummy, I like tennis, bet.
Yeah.
You can't come to me one day and say, Mum, I want to quit. Stay strong for Mummy. Go and play.
Yeah.
Like, go and play this tennis. You committed to it. And that's why I love that Beyonce is like, Remy, you want to do the show? You're doing every show now. Next time, watch what you ask for.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like, I believe in that. It's my sentiment.
No, I agree. I feel like some things are character building experiences. And again, there is a difference between you being abused somewhere and being like that. Of course, we would never advocate for you to stay in that sort of environment. But some bitchy, older, washed up women that are jealous. Like,
exactly.
Come on, you can absolutely think. And do you know what? Also, really think if there's one other person, because I always say that, like in the workplace, you only really need one person. You don't really need anybody if you're there to do your job and keep it moving. Because I've worked in the corporate side and I've worked in media, and it's a bit more relaxed and stuff like that. In the corporate space, I never had any friends. Like I remember, like I was working as a PA at a big bank, and I was like, this is not for me. But the money was, oh my God, the money was so sweet. But I never spoke to anybody there. I think it really is just a cultural difference in those kinds of spaces. But I really think that some things build character, because by the time I got to media, oh my God, I was like, no, you people don't work hard enough here.
No, literally.
I was like, you actually don't work
Yeah.
hard, because what do you mean? Like everyone just finishes early on a Friday for no reason in the
the
summer.
good old days at the start of thingy.
No, they shouldn't have that.
No, please don't.
No,
please.
'cause what do you
I
mean?
would be like,
Summer
because
Fridays
I was
is
a beauty
mental.
journalist, so I'd be like, oh, I've got breakfast at Riding House Cafe, and I've got a coffee, and I'll go home.
Yeah.
And I've done my job for the day. I've spoken to a PR. We've done breakfast. I'll do lunch in the shoom. A drink here, I'm going home. Those are the good. I mean, I don't think media runs like that anymore, but those were the
them days have gone. I
the
think
good old days and doing
yeah.
journalism and beauty, especially if you did lifestyle writing. It was great. I miss Riding House Cafe so much. Like, and free breakfast and free lunches, like inject it. But honey, you've got this, and I understand the thing is that. But everyone likes me. I think that's what it is. When you're someone who's liked everywhere. When you're not, you're like, what do you mean these people don't like me? Babe, your boss likes you, and that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Because that's actually all the liking you
that's the person
need.
that's signing off them checks.
Yeah. And like Audrey said, when you're doing your exit meeting, just be like, Susan in accounts is a fucking raggedy bitch.
Let
And
them
tell her
know.
I said that. And that's all.
Yeah, that's all. But try and firm it for a little bit longer.
Yeah, keep
I
applying
think.
for stuff,
Yeah.
but yeah, firm it. I would say
Yeah.
firm it for sure.
Yeah, same.
For
same,
sure.
Same,
And the
same.
experience is going to help you.
Yeah.
For sure. But
Totally
yeah, that is
agree.
it.
That's all, folks.
That email put me in a very good mood.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
very
so
much.
full of life. Like, it was so, you know
you.
that zest for life when you're in your early 20s.
Same. It's made me feel a bit zesty.
Yeah, it definitely has lifted my
Thanks, honey.
spirits.
This podcast is worth doing after all.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Really, really appreciate you. If you have any dilemmas, please email us at
dilemmas@receiptspodcast.co.uk.
or go straight onto our website where you can submit a dilemma and it comes straight into our inbox. I've been your girl, Tolly T.
And just call me Audrey.
Bye.